It's our little birdhouse kit, all in a plastic bag all together. You also have a finger clot, in case you don't want to get glue or grout on your fingers. There's your grout and a stir stick. You also have your glue, and how I suggest you use the glue is cut a tiny little corner off, and then you're able to squeeze the glue onto the places where you want it to go. So like you'd squeeze it onto here and put that right there. And then you'd follow along your edges with whatever pattern you want to use. You have ample glass to be able to do your project. Here's the almost finished project. Everything is in your packet that you need to have a fun little afternoon project. So now you've completed your little project, mosaic project, and now it's time to grout it. We've allowed it to dry for at least 48 hours so that the glue is definitely good and dry. I'm going to take about half of the grout package and pour it into an empty plastic throwaway cup. But you want your grout to be about the consistency of kind of like peanut butter. So there I put in a little bit of water, and I'm going to stir it up. Looks like I got it a little too soupy. That's too soupy. That's like pancake batter. Too much. So I'm going to add the rest of my grout powder here. Maybe not quite all of it. Let's see how we do here. Here we go. There's our grout. It's ready to go. You can wear gloves for this next step if you want. At this point, I just wash my hands and make sure I put good moisturizer on them when I'm done. But you're going to want to very carefully kind of push the grout into all the little places in between the glass or tile that you've put on your object. Kind of like playing in mud. The grout is going to help hold the pieces together and give it a finished look. There's not big gaps anywhere. After you've gotten grout into the top surface, you want to make sure you didn't miss the edges either. Kind of be careful on the edges. Sometimes you can have a sharp piece there, so don't run your fingers. Just be cautious. Now the first step of your grouting is done. You need to let your project sit for about 20 minutes usually, until the grout starts to get a chalky look to it and kind of powdery looking on the top. Right now you can definitely tell it's wet. So we're going to set it down and kind of clean up a little bit. Okay, so you can see that these are definitely dry now, and in the time when they've been drying, have managed to grout in quite a number of other pieces. But what you're going to do once you reach this point, and we were working on this one, is you're going to just lightly wipe off the surface so that you can see the tiles, or the glass, whatever you've used. On this one we've used glass mainly, and broken plates. And you want to just kind of clean off the tiles without getting down so that the grout gets grooved. That's pretty much it. Next thing we're going to do is do the grout sealer, and I use a glitter grout sealer, which comes in your little kit, and that's what we'll be doing next. We're going to give this a little bit of time to dry just a little bit more. We're almost finished. Your project has sat and dried mine's dried for a couple of hours while I worked on other projects. What you do before you do your glitter grout is you want to take and kind of buff the thing with a dry rag. You've used a wet rag previously to get the grout mostly off, but now you want to just go back and make sure that all the glass looks nice and clean. So there you have it. There it is, all nice and shiny. If you like it with this plain look, you might want to get yourself some grout sealer and seal it with a little bit of grout sealer. You just basically paint that on. It's thin and liquidy, but what it does is it soaks into the grout, and then if anything were to splash or spill on it, your grout wouldn't discolor. So, rather than that, we're going to use a glitter grout. You should put a piece of paper down, but I'm going to use my rag for the moment. It's an old one. So there it is. We've got your little package of glitter grout that came in your kit, and it's just a little Ziploc bag type thing. And so you can just kind of open up a little bit of it and squeeze it on there. Now you can put it on with your finger or a paintbrush, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to use my finger. We're just kind of spreading that all around, getting it all into all the cracks where the grout is. And it's on there pretty heavy, and that's okay. You're going to need a rag or something to wipe it off. I suggest that you use a very old one. And if you're a child, you check with your parent to find out what rag you're supposed to use so you don't use mom's, new kitchen towels or something. Buff it off so that it's not on the glass and only in the grout. So just buffing it off. And then your project's pretty much done. Some of the things you could use it for is you could put your little project attached to a picture frame. You could stick it on a plant stick or something like that and stick it in a plant. All of these projects are intended for indoor, not outdoor use. And so come back and look and see. We'll have other videos from time to time of different projects that you can do on a nice afternoon. And hope you've enjoyed this project.